Good morning. It's coming up to Christmas and people might be thinking about buying an electric guitar amp to go with the guitar that their son or husband or boyfriend have bought for Christmas. I'm just going to offer a few tips here for you all that you may find are important. And the most important thing is, believe it or not, is your social situation and where you intend to play. Now, first of all, if you have a 50-watt valve amp in a flat with people around you and you start blasting, you're going to soon be under the watchful gaze of environmental health, and you're going to end up with a massive fine and having your amp confiscated. And bear in mind that a lot of people work at home these days, so social situation is important. Now, unless you're planning on touring or playing in a band, a massive amplifier is not necessary. Also, what you have to bear in mind is, if you go and play at open mic nights, they'll have their own amps. So basically, what you have to fundamentally think about is your social situation. It is so important, because a huge fine will turn your guitar playing into a world of misery. Now, if you're in a bed sit or in a flat, the easiest way to be safe is a pair of earphones that plug into your guitar. Now, I bought these, were cheap. I think these were about 30 quid, if that. And I bought them to practice when my other half was asleep after night shifts, and I used them an awful lot. So before people laugh, they're cheap, it's easy, you can pour a lot of your money into the quality of the instrument, and you can buy far better headphones than this. Far better. I'm lucky I'm not in a situation where I've got to use these all the time. But if I lived in a flat like I used to, one thing I would seriously consider is a decent pair of headphones to plug into the guitar. That way I'm not disturbing anybody, I'm not going to get fined, I'm not going to fall out with the people around me, and I can still have a lot of fun practicing with my guitar and blast my ears out. Now, don't laugh, but my main go-to amp is my Blackstar 1 watt amp. And this is an amp I would buy if I'm not going the headphones way. I've done a review on this, I will put a link in the description. But the most important thing is I can plug headphones into it. So even if I'm in a challenging social situation, I haven't got to use it, but I can still get a sound out of it that I would say is not socially disturbing without having to plug headphones in. And I'll give a quick demonstration just to show you. Now, fortunately, I'm in a social situation where I'm not going to piss anybody off, but I play this, you can see that's 102 decibels. You're going to go through your neighbour's walls with that, and I haven't even got that loud. Now, but what you can do with these small amps is you can turn it down a little bit. And the sound goes down. Now, this is right close to the speaker, so it's showing it a bit louder than it probably is, but you will get it. You can turn it right down, or you can turn the gain right up. And nobody's going to hear that. See, this is not really the most scientific demonstration I can give. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to leave it set at this level, and I'm going to move the decibel meter a distance away and film the decibel meter and see how it reads. So, well, actually what I will do is I'll turn it up to a volume that I know you wouldn't hear through a wall. So I'm going to move the decibel meter and film it slightly further away. It's not the most scientific demonstration, but you can hear my voice is like at 80 and I'm not shouting. So I'm going to move it, leave it like this and see what we get. Now I've moved the decibel meter on the phone about 10 feet away. And that's a 1 watt valve amp. So you can hear how loud these are. And you can see that it may not sound that loud to you, but you are seeing how loud these amplifiers really are, even a 1 watt valve amp. So it's just giving you an idea why I believe it's important, if you're going to buy an amp, to buy one with a headphone socket, so you're not going to go through the courts. Now what we have here is a tiny orange 12 watt transistor amp. Perfect for a first amp. In fact I don't even think they make it anymore, but they'll do something similar, and that has a headphone socket, and you can see the decibel meter, 97, 98 decibels, and if I give it some overdrive, see the decibel meter is going through the roof. So look, even buying a small amp, you can get a good sound in a home situation. But I say again, the most important thing in my opinion, if you're buying your first amp and you live in a home that is not detached, or where you don't want to cheese other people off, you get yourself one with a headphone socket and plug yourself in. This little orange amp, and look at, I mean, there's the size of my hand, so you can see how big it is. You've just heard the sound, and it's got an excellent huge jack plug socket in it, and you can also use a different input with the smaller plug in there should you wish to plug in. So you haven't got to buy a massive amp to get a good sound that is suitable for playing in the home. Now for your first amp, you haven't even got to spend a lot of money. This is JSH C12, 12 watt transistor amp, I believe from the 80s, and have a listen. Beautiful sound. Or you can do something like this. So it's got a lovely clean sound, and how much did I pay for that? Nothing, I was given it. So you can even go around second-hand shops, jumble sales, Oxfam shops, and you often can see these amps. Take along your guitar, put it through it, and providing it doesn't crackle, and you can see it's a nice sound. So you haven't got to spend a fortune on an amp. Now obviously I put a distortion pedal through it, it's going to be a lot louder, but you can see for yourselves. Being brutally honest, my amps are old like me. It's a collection that spans 35 years, so I haven't got the latest technology. And my decibel meter is not the most scientific way of doing things, because how you hear things and how sound travels can be totally different. But bear in mind, a bass sound, even at a low volume, will thud through somebody's walls. And as I said, the most important thing in my view is not to have somebody banging on your door, or environmental health wiring up your house and you're getting a hefty fine and your equipment removed. That is more important. So for myself, my advice is for practice in the home is to buy something with an earphone socket and buy yourself a set of headphones. And if you can't afford that, get yourself some headphones. Bear in mind that a distorted sound will be a lot louder than a clean sound all day long. So if you put a say a DS1 through whatever amp you've got, it will be a lot louder and the sound carry a lot more. Now my recommendation is a Black Star 1 watt valve amp. Valve amps are old school, but in my opinion the sound has far warmer tones and works a lot better. And you can look at stuff I've played and you can see for yourselves. I didn't want to clog this video up with me showing what a shite guitarist I am, going through loads of amps. I've tried to cover this as quickly as I can, giving you as much information I can. Technology's moved on. You've seen the transistor amps, the orange little transistor amp, the sound is good. Even the 1980s JSH C12 provides a very good clean sound. However, in my view, valve amps have the edge for sound and power. Now these little practice amps, in my opinion, are not much good for playing live. However, I do believe you can plug them into PA systems that make them pretty useful, so it's not the end of the world. It's not like the old days where you turn up with a 5 watt amp and you're not heard above the drums. Now technology has moved on. However, this video was about buying an amp to practice at home for Christmas. I hope I've given you some useful tips and helped you keep your sociability with your neighbours, and you're going to enjoy your music. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.